that escalated quickly. Greetings and salutations, Bat fans. My name is Blantron, and I'm here to bring you my day one first impressions of Batman Arkham Knight. I've heard all the stories about the PC having issues. I'm actually playing on PC on my Razer Blade on a NVIDIA GTX 870M. I have noticed some hitching, some frame drops here and there, but I don't want to focus on all that stuff. There will be a small part of the video dedicated to that, but I'm going to try and focus on the things that I remembered specifically in the game, particularly the Batmobile. A lot of people have been complaining about the Batmobile, saying that it's ham-fisted, and I gotta say, man, I agree with them. There's a whole lot of Batmobile in this game. In the first couple hours, there is almost exclusively Batmobile gameplay, and it's not bad, but I forgot I was playing Batman at one point, which isn't bad. I mean, the intro here is really cool, where you even the odds, you jump in, and they do a little sweet rotation around the Batmobile like you're watching a car commercial, and it looks incredible. It looks like a combination of the Nolan vs. Tumblr and the Michael Keaton era Batmobile. It's hard and sleek at the same time, like it's the best of both worlds. It's how awesome it looks. I jump into some of the combat with the Batmobile. Now, it feels pretty good. Like, I love the way it transforms from car to tank, and some people argue that it doesn't really encompass Batman, doesn't embody Batman, like with all the guns and everything, and they give you these little drones you can shoot, which I think are completely out of place. But I mean, the combat does feel good. It's very fluid, specifically with the Batmobile tank system, but I agree, like, you have these drones that just conveniently have no one in them, but there's a point in the game where you see like a full army of dudes. I guess they work for the Arkham Knight, but they don't put anybody in these tanks. I just think it's funny. What's also funny is when you're driving the Batmobile and you hit people, they'll actually bounce off your car like some kind of electricity bit, but they'll actually bounce off your car. So they put so much like stuff into the game that that just says, hey, this is Batman. Just remember, Batman isn't killing anybody. It looks like he is, but these people are alive. Don't worry about it. just keep playing. Ignore it. But in this section, yeah, the strafing and everything with combat, specifically with the Bat Tank, feels pretty good. I like that you just hold down the right, or you right click as if you're like a normal aiming in a normal like third-person shooter or whatever. It's kind of like bringing up your hard sights in Call of Duty. You just kind of you right click, and it only works as long as you're holding it down, which I find it kind of bothersome to have to hold down the right mouse button, when I'm shooting. So, I mean, I have a special mouse. Oh, it's not really special, but a mouse, the Rocket or whatever. It has macros and things, so it kind of like interferes with it. So that's just like a anecdotal situation. No big deal for most people probably. But I don't like holding. So maybe there's an option to toggle it. I need to figure it out in the settings. And at less than 3 hours into the game, I feel as though the Batmobile has already jumped the shark. It's so ham-fisted into the game where they make you do this elaborate puzzle where you use the Batmobile's winch to make your way across an obstacle course on top of a couple of buildings just to get across the other side of a chasm and charge up some generator, use a satellite or something. I don't fucking know. Either way, it's so pointless. It's just they're finding reasons and excuses for you to use the Batmobile, and it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like a Batman game. It doesn't feel like Arkham. It's just, well, let's find reasons to use this new gameplay element, and that no one really, I guess people wanted, but they wanted it in a different way. Not like this. I just rather would just glide, and I've found that's a better way of traveling across Gotham. At one point when I was gliding, I actually forgot that there was a Batmobile. I'm like, oh, there's a Batmobile? Maybe I'm just not used to it, but either way, it's more fluid. You just go over the buildings, and it's more streamlined. The Batmobile, I guess it has its place, but in their attempts to bring it into the game, they tried a little too hard, and this is just like 2 hours in, and I'm already tired of it. Like, I already don't want to use it, which is kind of bad. Probably my favorite aspect of the Arkham games is the combat. The free flow combat is so silky smooth, it's so intuitive, it's so simple, and it makes you feel so powerful when you play it. Of course, Arkham Knight is no different, but they added a new multiple takedown system where you take one guy down and then it goes in slow-mo. And then you can aim at another guy, take him down with one button, take another guy down with another button, as long as you're not spotted. So, ironically, Batman is a stealthy guy, but the stealth in the Arkham games has never been to my liking. It's not something like a Splinter Cell or a Metal Gear or anything like that. But I like this. This feels very Batman. The speed of it, the swiftness in which you can take guys down. That's one of my favorite new additions to the combat and to the Predator system is that. Just wanted to mention the one very small instance where I had a performance issue, and it would be right here as I'm gliding across the water, and there's two little bitty drops. It's not that bad. That's probably the worst I had to deal with, and I guess I'm fortunate since I'm on NVIDIA graphics card. I heard AMD users had much bigger problems, so I guess I count myself fortunate. But other than that, the game hasn't really given me that many issues to note other than those. Well, that does it for my Arkham Knight impressions video. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Also subscribe if you feel like I impressed you. We'll see you next time with a full review.